You have now entered the lab. Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama, episode 108. We're recording this live Monday nights, every single Monday night. Right now we have the Eagles and the Buccaneers about to kick off. The Buffalo Bills just took their game over the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll get into all the football from this past weekend, good, bad, and ugly, which Fort will talk about his side a little bit in a little, on this episode. But first off, Broward Vintage is going live right now. So you can either listen to us, talk about what we're going to do on this episode, or you could go on to the app called Whatnot. Broward Vintage is live right now. Search it. I believe the person that he's going live with is at, what is it?
5,900.
5,900. Yes, sir. 5,900 on Whatnot. Probably the biggest streaming person on Whatnot. Great clothes. I have a couple clothes out right now, rocking a throwback Echo size large or extra large. This one I was going to wear too. Nice NASCAR looking, a lot of jackets here for the winter. Notre Dame, not a fan of Notre Dame, but a throwback. What is this, a starter? No, it's a Majestic Fighting Irish, which is awesome. This is a size large. And then I didn't want to throw it in your face, but I believe you gave this to Broward Vintage, which we always talk about. You could always sell Broward Vintage some stuff.
The reversible joint? Yeah, that shit's nice.
With the fleece inside.
Ooh,
this is a size.
Very clean.
I don't even know what size it is. What size is
I think it's a
large or extra large.
Yeah.
It fits well. I was going to rock it to...
Don't do that to me.
I was going to rock it at first, but I was like, let me not do that to my boy. No. So Broward Vintage, they're live every week on Whatnot. Go follow Broward Vintage on Instagram. He's going live every single week selling amazing clothes for a low cost. It's like an auction type vibe. Like I said, we're going to get into football. We're going to get into all things, sports related, news, entertainment. We're back with the new year. We wanted to make sure we posted more content on IG, on Instagram, on IG, on Reels with YouTube Shorts and all that. And we're gonna get on TikTok more. So definitely, if you can't consume a whole hour of us, hour and a half, definitely consume us when we put our content. We're gonna try to put out videos every single day. And shout out Fort for taking the initiative of putting that out, and we're gonna try to give you something different as you tune into episodes every single week. So let's get into it, Fort. What's going on in your world?
Now that we have an official video editor for the podcast, so
pay him a lot. We're gonna have to start a Cash App fund or something like that soon.
I know, man.
We're spending a lot of money,
but it's worth it so far from what they've been showing me. They've been showing me a lot of good numbers with the post, so I'm with it. You scared money don't make no money. But yeah, we'll definitely eventually get on TikTok. I gotta learn TikTok a little bit more. But we've been posting on Instagram for sure, and we've been posting a few on YouTube for YouTube Shorts. We're live every week on YouTube. Honestly, at this point, episode 108, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't whatnot, I don't know what else to tell you, man. You're just slacking. You don't support the brand, and don't be a fan later. But we're gonna keep doing our thing, whether you're here or not. But yeah, we are sponsored by Broward Vintage. They are in the building right now on Whatnot. So go get that app. Even if you don't buy anything, you can still support by commenting, doing whatever, hyping up the chat. And the best thing about it is, what he's selling, that shit starts at $1. So you can slide that little thing up to $1, $2, $3. There's been some really, really good stuff that's been sold while I've been watching for less than $4 or $5. I mean, yeah, you gotta pay shipping, but I think once you buy your second item, shipping is free. So you can get some pretty good stuff. I have them pulled up right now. I'm watching them on my other monitor, so we can go ahead and share that whenever. But we'll probably get into the pod for a little bit because I think they're on 62. They're on their 62nd item right now. So I
Yeah,
think they usually
Ben hit
do.
me up. He told me they got over 100 items. So we'll
Yeah,
maybe we'll pause for a second, maybe throw up a link or throw up something, which is live, and you can't watch it again. So it's it's a live auction,
yeah.
and there's
They're showing
shirts
off
selling
a
for
Jeff Gordon shirt right now.
yeah,
Really clean Jeff Gordon shirt, man. He's
yeah,
got a lot of Jeff Gordon stuff.
yeah. NASCAR, Harley Davidson always is a good sell. But let's get right into it. What's going on before we get into sports and entertainment and all of that? What's going on in your world? Any updates? How you doing this week into the new year? We posted some things about new year, new me. Have
Yeah,
you taken any initiative on anything? And what's going on in the world of Fort?
yeah. Just definitely got back into the gym. Went to the gym about I think 3 times within the last week. I went yesterday after work. So I'm trying to find a little bit more time with my 3 jobs to get to the gym. It's been a little hard, but
I get it.
I mean I definitely know I haven't been in a while because now I'm getting that sore feeling back. I wasn't when I was going consistently. I wasn't getting that sore unless I had like
Mhm.
a really really good workout. But now my body is a little sore. I did some back. I was feeling it. I did some triceps and shoulders the other day. I'm still feeling it in my tris. So it feels good to get back, man. I did a little bit of cardio after my chest workout yesterday. So I'm gonna be busy this week. I'm working every night. So we'll just see how that goes. It won't be long, maybe another 2 weeks that I have to, balance 3 jobs, but I should be all good by February, and then just trying to figure some other stuff when that time rolls around.
2024 is the year of focus on your money, focus on the income, focus on what you got going on. I love that you have three streams of income coming in. You could always find more. The years of or the career of having one job 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, are probably dead for the most of us, or at least little less than half of us, because
Yeah,
sometimes you can't rely on that full-time job. You got to have multiple streams. I'll always live, and I want to always live in having multiple streams of income. Little by little, it all adds up at the end of the year. So started off right. There's a lot of opportunities, and you figured it out. Obviously, you're doing more physical, in person jobs. I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm trying to do the couple here, a couple there, whether it's stocks. I'm trying to jump back into a little Robinhood, making some money with my stocks because I neglected it for about a year now. Because
right.
it was a little, it was a lot of down, not even a little down.
It
But
wasn't a
now
good
is where you
market.
can make exactly. But now is where you can make your money when everything has been down for a year. Now, hopefully things pop back up. So obviously, I'm gonna put in, what I could afford, what I could put in. So I've seen an opportunity there with Robinhood and stocks that I'm like, you know what? If I got to start focusing on that, even if it's making $50 here, $100 here a day, just as a quick
Yeah,
thing, or a couple hundred a week, that all adds up at the end of the year. So
yeah.
we always got
My brother's back in the stock game for sure. I mean, he hadn't left. He hasn't left, but he's been talking to me a lot more lately. So when when people talk about something passionately that they're in a lot more, that means it's probably doing more good than bad.
yeah.
So
This is
yeah,
the times when people make money. When
election
money's tight.
season coming up, all that shit.
Yep, things are going to start changing, and I've done some research a little bit, and I see that 2024 is going to creep up a little bit as far as the market. So if you were those people like us that dove into stocks and stuff like that, you might want to check back in because it's been a little slow. I got a good amount of money tied up that I can't touch. That I'm trying to buy more dips and hopefully stocks. I just sold the stock last week that I've held on for a few months. So that's a sign that the market's kind of picking up a little bit. So definitely trying to get involved, obviously involved with Broward Vintage, involved with a couple more side hustles. So wishing everybody, good success for 2024 and making more money because I feel like 2022, 2023, it was slow for everyone, whether you had a full-time
Yeah,
job or not. It was, we're on the up and up. I think we could all do more as far as side things and what we have time, because we have a lot of time on our hands.
Yeah,
Life
speaking
is
of
yeah.
saving money and making money, I did come across this phone carrier, this phone service.
Mhm.
It's based off a crypto called Helium. Some people that are listening might be familiar with it. Helium, like a helium balloon, and it runs off T-Mobile towers, which is great. It actually started in South Florida, down in Miami, for $5 a month. It was $5 a month phone service, unlimited internet, all that stuff. And now they're up to $20 a month. But what they do is pretty much you can turn your phone location on in the app, and it'll track your location, which your phone carrier is already doing that, and most of the apps on your phone are already tracking your location and listening to what you say, and they know everything about you. And pretty much what they want to do is they're using your location to map out where they need to put towers, where they should have service, where the service is good, where the service isn't good, and to improve on it. And they kind of want to make a better phone network out of your location and everything. And to help you with you helping them, they actually reward you in their token, which is mobile, which is about a third of a cent. So it's not much, but I'm getting about a little over 1,000 of them a day. So I'm getting about $3-4 bucks a day. And the best thing is you can pay your phone bill with the mobile tokens. So at the end of the month, I have way more than I need to pay my phone bill, and it pays my phone bill for me, and it uses T-Mobile towers. The only negative thing is it only has 5 gigs for hotspot. So if you're a big hotspot user, I don't recommend it. But if your phone's paid off, you don't owe any money on your phone, you got a decent iPhone 11 Pro and up, definitely take a look at it. The best thing too is you can actually sign up with it, and you don't have to change your phone number or move your phone number over to that carrier. If you have a newer iPhone 11 Pro and up, that has an eSIM. So you could just activate a new number on that eSIM, try it out, see how it works. If you like it, cool, you could switch to it. And if you don't have to switch to it, and you're just making free money every day. You just got to toggle your location on the app on and off when you don't want to use it, because it does kind of use your battery a little bit more than normal if you leave it on. But I've had it for, I want to say, a little over a month now. It's worked everywhere just fine, and I've made like 130 bucks on the mobile because I paid one of my phone bills already, and what I have is up to like 90 bucks. So I'm doing pretty decent on it. And if you drive a lot, like if you do Lyft, if you do Uber, just keep that bitch on and just
I was just
let
gonna
it
say,
run. Just let it run. They have so much stuff, bro. They have a dash cam that you can put on your car with helium as well. And the dash cam will take pictures of the roads that you're on, because they want to create like a Google Maps or a Maps version on their crypto, on their network, on Helium, and they'll pay you so you could take the pictures in their token. I don't know how that is because I haven't dived into the dash cam side of it, but I mean, if you're already driving Lyft, Uber, whatever it is, and you're making money there, and then you put this dash cam, that's honestly just more passive residual income on top of what you're already making. So
yep,
you're always going to new places when you drive. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff, man. I like it.
I use an app called Upside when I drive a lot, and it's basically, you get restaurants, you get discounts, or you get points, and it builds up in gas where, if you're filling up your tank, 3 to 4 times a week, you get cash back. If you refer a friend, you're gonna make money off them, a couple cents, and it all adds up. I think a lot of people get lost in in this world of making a lot of money quick, and they don't realize that you could make a little money every single day or every single week, and then that adds up after a couple months. So, like for the Upside app, I'll get a few cents, maybe $1 here, $1 there, and then all of a sudden, after a few months, I'll get 25, 30 bucks, back to me, just because I filled up the same amount of gas I was going to do anyway. It just gives you money back because you're using their app. So there's a lot of smart things you could do. I'm always looking for a good deal. That's kind of like my mantra. Always looking for a deal. Always looking to save money on my credit cards, on my Amex card. For example, ABC Liquor this year at the end of the year they were running a program that if you spend $75, they'll give you $15 back if you use your Amex card. And I used it last week, got $15 back. I was gonna buy liquor anyway, might as well use it. And then I got 2 opportunities to use that, so I'm saving $30 on beverages that I was gonna buy anyway. I'm not buying more than I would have. I'm just buying. So you always got to figure out those little promotions and little things, to help you out throughout the week. I love that.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you can't always look at, if you're making money as money coming in, you can also look at it as money that you're saving. Any kind of money that you're saving is also pretty much money that you're making that you're putting back in your pocket.
Yes, sir.
So,
love it.
I mean, I'm all for it, man.
Now, obviously, we're at 191 subscribers on YouTube. So if you're watching, listening, and you support and want to show support, obviously like this YouTube video as we're live. Just give a little thumbs up, helps us out. Hit a little subscribe, follow us on IG, Twitter, whatever it is. We're trying to get to 200 very soon, just to make it a round number. It makes us feel good about ourselves. And then, tell a friend, maybe it's not, this podcast isn't for you, but you're tuning in. Let somebody know that they, they listen to podcasts and listens to, cause there's a lot of podcasts out there, a lot of content out there, but from what I've learned, I listen to a lot of content every single day and it's getting watered down. So hopefully we bring you quality conversations and takes, and we try to involve family, friends, whether it's comments, conversations, or even having them on the pod. So hopefully we try to give you guys a little something different. Do you want to jump into some sports right away? Obviously, with football going on, it's obviously a hot topic. And then we can get into some entertainment later on. What do you have pulled up? If you have any videos, let me know. I like the flow of, me bringing something up. You got the videos. You're the kind of producer of this show as we go on with the videos and stuff like that.
I guess, man, I might just get it out the way before.
Go ahead. I'm going to go on mute. Goodbye.
Because I think the more I dwell on this and the more I sit on it and the more I let it bother me, it's just going to keep fucking pissing me off, dog. The Miami Dolphins. I'm always going to root for them. They're always going to be my team. That's always going to be where I, it's always going to be my NFL team. But I don't think I could keep putting as much energy and passion and just investing so much time into this fucking franchise that has literally brought me nothing but pain. It's so crazy to me that a lot of fans were saying was our best year. And, very much it could be besides the Super Bowl years, but that was when TVs had a fucking fat ass back on them. Now we got transparent TVs. We got fucking slim ass TVs. And it just sucks because Tua had almost an MVP-like season until the last few games. Tyreek was on pace for 2,000 until he got injured. Mostert had a record-breaking season with the Dolphins. We had Achane could have had 1,000 yards rushing as well. I think he averaged over 6 rushes a carry. He was hurt for a little bit, and then just our defense, man, getting decimated in the second half of the season in games where these guys shouldn't have been in. With, Jalen Phillips, he was in the game against the Jets on Black Friday. We're up by 20 with a few minutes left. There's no reason for him to be in that game. And then Bradley Chubb, a few weeks ago against the Ravens, we're down by 30 with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. There's no reason for him to be in the game. You're not going to make a play that's going to give you a 30-point swing. Just take the L, go on, move on to the next week. And now you go last week of the season where you shouldn't have even been in that situation because you choked a few other games along. The Tennessee game, you're up by 14 with less than 3 minutes left and you lose. So now you have a game in your stadium at home on primetime against your division rival now, the Bills, and they're hot and you're not. And you fucking choke it again. We were 10-3, or sorry, 10-4, and the Bills were like 7-6 with a few games left, and they end up winning the division. Good teams don't do that. Great teams don't do that. Teams that want to do shit in the playoffs don't do that. And because you ended up doing all that bullshit, guess what? Then you had here's your present. You have to go to Kansas City in -30 wind chill and try to win a playoff game. And I don't want to hear it was too cold. Oh, the Dolphins don't play in that kind of weather. Motherfucker, no one plays in that kind of weather. That was one of the coldest games ever in history. So I guarantee you, even though Kansas City plays in Kansas City, Missouri, I guarantee you them boys were just as cold as the Dolphins. And I don't know if it's the coach. I don't know if it's the offense. It clearly is not the offense because they were the number 2 offense, but they only scored 7 points. It's just big time moments get to them, and you're never gonna win anything if that keeps happening. And I want to say that Tua is your franchise quarterback, but you need to either draft a quarterback that you think has potential and is going to give Tua some serious competition in camp, or you need to have a deep look inside of your organization because we don't have the money. Our cap is very, very limited. We need to go back and restructure some contracts, and some guys are saying money is money. They don't want to do it, and guess what? I don't fucking blame them. If my boss came up to me and was like, hey, we need you to take a pay cut to – this is what Xavier Howard said. We need you to take a pay cut. Are you going to tell them, all right, cool, yeah? Yeah, I mean, they're making millions on millions, but still, it's money is money. So it's just the same old Dolphins, man. Just every year at the beginning of the season, they get you hyped, they get you passionate, they reel you in, and you're all in. You're bought in 110%, and then they just fucking let you down, bro, and it sucks. It's very sad, and I want to say that there's a light at the end of the tunnel because the Lions won their first playoff game after 32 years last night. Congratulations to them. Congratulations to Adam. He's a diehard Detroit Lions fan. He's been on the pod. But guess what? Now that makes the Miami Dolphins the team with the longest playoff drought in the NFL right now. So I'm just sick and tired of this shit, man. I can't stand it. I don't like it. I'm a running joke. My cousins have never watched football. They laugh at me. They're from Cuba. They're like, haha, Dolphins stink. I'm like, yo, what are you, like, leave me alone. Like, this is just, it's too much now. I don't know how much more I can handle it, man. It's breaking my heart.
Yeah, no, I get it. And what I've learned is that, similar, year, more than a decade ago, the Giants won 2 Super Bowls against the best team of the best team twice of all time in the dynasty, and Tom Brady and the Patriots. Was in the NFL, you just need to make the playoffs and stay healthy as much as you can. Those 2 Giant teams were very healthy. Now that I look back on it, they didn't have too many injuries to their key players, and that's why they would withstand, and they got hot at the right moment. With the Dolphins, you guys were very flashy. You guys were sexy pick. You had Hard Knocks. You had, everybody buzzing social media. You had great players that were vocal. Tyreek, obviously electric. That all goes out the window once the playoffs start. And that's what I try to tell, Dylan and Vito that were –
Hard Knocks ruined our season, man.
You could say that.
Hard
I don't think
ruined the season.
Yeah, it could. But I think just regular season, just making the playoffs, and then the understanding that it's a new season, once the playoffs start, similar what I'm learning in hockey as a new fan is in hockey, 8 teams make it out of the East, 8 teams make it out of the West, and you just want to make it. Obviously, we watched last year as the Miami Heat came in at 8 seed. The Florida Panthers just got in the last game, made it in the 8 seed, and they both went to the finals. So it's just like a nice little lesson to show you that, regular season means something, but you got to be healthy. Obviously, you didn't have the best luck. Looking back on it, yeah, should certain players have been in? Yes, no, you can kind of go back and forth. It's just how it works out. But if I'm being honest, and I was trying to be honest with the people who were Dolphin fans that were over my house the other day, was, I couldn't foresee the Dolphins getting past the first round, almost anybody who they played, because, during the regular season, you guys didn't beat anybody that were contenders at all. You had an opportunity to host a playoff game, blew that, had a chance to go into Kansas City, which was super cold. Do you have some video of Kansas City now that we're talking about it? Things that went viral. Obviously, it was negative 30-something degrees, super cold. That's what you get when you go into places like Kansas City, Buffalo, Green Bay, and it's a different game. The games of you dominating a team in October, November against the Denver Broncos in Miami and scoring 70 points, it's not going to happen. It's just not. So, yes, it's fun in the regular season to see a team, dominate on the offensive end, but it all comes down to defense. And if you can run the ball and, if you stay healthy. Obviously, we see, now Kansas City.
Hay un frío in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Only in Dade, pins up.
Yeah, like the water. People took water out of the refrigerator. It was warmer in the refrigerator than it was when you pulled that water bottle out. So it tests. NFL, you're learning it. You guys, I said a couple weeks ago, we posted a video of me saying that you guys don't make the playoffs a lot lately. The last 20 years, you made it 3 times. Haven't got a win in 20 plus years. And, I root for you guys, but I'm also going to be honest when I have my take. I'm not saying it as a fan, so I can only say it as somebody that's analyzing a game. I have no expertise in it, but all I can do is tell you what I feel. But going into that Kansas City game, I know you guys kind of didn't have a chance. But if you did win and you showed a lot of fight, I was going to take you guys almost as the favorites moving forward. But you didn't do it. You got to reevaluate, get healthy, make some moves, because you got a lot of money that's out there, which you don't have a lot of money to make moves. You got to figure it out.
Hit hard there.
This is the video of Mahomes' helmet.
2nd and 6.
Cracking.
Mahomes back again, climbing through the
Hopefully
pocket
this doesn't get taken down, but if it
off.
does, it'll be
Mahomes
quick.
gets inside the 10 and the 5.
We
Hit
don't have
hard
regs.
there at the 2-yard line. Mahomes
He should have been taken off the
accelerated.
field immediately
Got close to a touchdown. It's going to be first
after
and
this
goal.
play, but he went on and had 2
This is
more
what Patrick
plays, 3
Mahomes
more
does,
plays.
and he's been
Take it
really
down, just in case.
decisive all
And
night
no one
long
wants to
when he
tackle.
runs. Climb up
Look
in
at
the
Eli
pocket.
Apple running
he
like
looks
me.
for a little bit, and then he
Duke
keeps
Riley
going.
playing two-hand
really
touch.
disappointed
Look at
by
this,
the
look at this.
secondary
I
of
thought we were
Miami.
playing
This
tackle
is not
football, bro.
Isaiah Pacheco.
Got no
Take it
fucking
off just in
two-hand
case.
touch shit.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to end it quick, just in case YouTube takes it off, because we have a good few months that YouTube hasn't taken off highlights or anything like that. So I just want to make sure. It just in the cold, nobody wants to tackle, and that's one highlight that remains in my head is Brandon Jacobs in Green Bay, that big motherfucker, like 250 plus, running right down the middle, holding the ball with 2 hands and just leveling a safety always remains in my head, where it's like it's a different game. You're going to play these teams in cold weather, and usually these cold weather teams like Pittsburgh, like Buffalo, they not New York lately, or we had a home game, but it's a different ball game. The playoffs, man. It's not Andy Reid with the frozen mustache right there. The classic of Coughlin with the Giants back in the day. He had frostbite on his face. His face went to. I always say he looks like Vito when he's out in the sun too long. But it's a different ball game. You get to see, and I don't want to remain on the Dolphins too much, obviously because of you, but You look at other teams like, as I look, the Browns versus Texans. Texans 45-14 Browns. Obviously, the Browns went through a lot with having their quarterback and their number one running back, Chubb and Deshaun Watson, out, but they still made the playoffs. They battled back. Why? Their defense was the head of it. Obviously, their offense wasn't the brunt of it, but Flacco showed up. He came off the couch. But guess what? Texans at home had a home, that matters. Had a rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, and they showed up. And CJ Stroud is a dog. He's that next up type guy, and we could all say it. I'm rooting for them. I don't know who they play next. If I look at it real quick, they are waiting to play.
They'll play the Ravens.
The Ravens,
Baltimore.
Oh my God, that is something that even if CJ Stroud doesn't win that game, but he shows up, that could set him up for another decade, because that is a perfect example of a CJ Stroud rookie quarterback coming in, trying to prove his own. I looked at today, coming into the season, in the preseason, the Houston Texans had the least odds to make the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. They were dead last. They were projected 3 wins, or they had 3 wins last year. Now they had 10. So the fact that they were able to, not only make the playoffs, but also win a first round. And now they play the Ravens, where going into Baltimore, it's going to be tough. But man, that's something special, that game with, that matchup with,
something,
Lamar Jackson.
I'm not upset, man. I'm not upset because I love CJ Stroud. I love the way he plays the game. I thought he should have been the first overall pick in the draft last year, but it just kind of frustrates me a little bit when you have a team that record-wise was the second worst team in the league last year. They draft a quarterback. They have a new head coach. They got a lot of young players. They go in there, they win 10 games, win their division, and then win a playoff game with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you have the Packers. You have Jordan Love starting his first full season.
Another
Started
situation.
A little slow, but started picking it up, and then goes in to Dallas, who's been crazy at home all year, wins a playoff game too.
Undefeated.
And they
Undefeated
hadn't lost
home.
at home in 2 years, since week 1 of 2 years ago when Brady beat them with the Bucks. But you look at those things and you're like, dog, what don't the Dolphins have? What is it that they don't have that they can't do? That
I kind of just told you.
It's just it just messes with me, bro. It's so stupid.
It's different. Telling you, regular season in the NFL is one league, playoffs is another. If you get hot, you have a defense, you have a run game, because you have to prepare where you got to play, depending on where. And I didn't foresee it. Hopefully next year they get to revamp, make some changes, but they're built for the regular season, as we've seen the last couple of years. But we'll see if they can fight back. That Packers game, obviously, I'm not only a diehard Giants fan, I'm a diehard anti-Cowboys fan. And watching the Packers dominate the Cowboys, I had a parlay that I won based on the Packers covering 7 going into that game. So I won money on that one. That was a great game to watch. Jordan Love is somebody, you got Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers sat for a year or two, then came on all-time, one of the best of all time. And then you got Jordan Love, sat for a couple seasons. Not easy for him. I think if you draft the quarterback in the first round, don't be afraid to sit. And I've said this in previous podcasts. Hopefully you have a good veteran or somebody that could, lay it over. You don't have to play these quarterbacks day one in the league. It's almost looked as a red-shirted, NFL player. Don't be afraid to sit a quarterback for a year or two, learning and not having that pressure on. And Jordan Love had a lot of pressure when he was drafted, criticized. Why did you pick him when you had Aaron Rodgers just getting off MVP season? It was criticized. People forget. And now fast forward, all of a sudden he wins, in his first full season, he, gets his team to the playoffs, wins his first NFL playoff game, and we'll see what he has to do. But The years of it depends on who you are, what franchise you are, and what situation you have. But playing a quarterback right away, day one, doesn't have to be the option. You don't have to do that. But like I said previously, there's organizations like the Packers that can afford to do that. I think the Giants should do stuff like that more going into this season coming up. And then the other game with the Lions and Rams. We were in a group chat once, right? Where when the Lions and Rams trade happened, everybody was like, Jared Goff going. They sent him to prison. They sent him to. Yeah, they sent him. Yeah, that's the exact words in the group chat. They sent Jared Goff to the wall. We were criticizing, like, damn, he just went to a Super Bowl, lost in the Super Bowl, and then they've revamped as the Rams. They made the trade, and everybody's clowning Jared Goff like he's nothing. Obviously, Stafford goes on to go to the Rams and wins a Super Bowl, and everything's good. And then little by little, the Lions were building up some clout, some character in their building, and sometimes it takes time, but everybody was super critical when that trade went down. Even I looked at that, was like, I didn't think of it as critical as most people thought, but Jared Goff had to go to a place that didn't have a history of winning, and then all of a sudden he goes from LA, not only the city, but also coming off a Super Bowl bid, and that organization's building up, and they beat the LA Rams. That was poetic in that regard. And then
that was a great game too. That was a great game. I had fun watching
quality
that.
Game. I didn't want to touch that game betting. I knew it was going to be close. It was. I think it was 3 points.
The script was scripting yesterday.
I didn't want to touch that as a bet, and they Lions won by 1. I thought that game was going to go down. Whoever won was going to win by less than a touchdown for sure. And then earlier today, Steelers Bills. I took the Bills given 10. It hit 31-17. Steelers, Mason Rudolph. I don't think there's no way Mason Rudolph is going to go into Buffalo and make that a game. I just couldn't see it. And the Bills, pulled away. They had the lead 21-0. Then all of a sudden they pulled away late, which I thought they would. So that bet hit for me too. So right now we got Buccaneers up 10 on the Eagles. I have the Eagles to win money line right now. So we'll see on a parlay. Nervous about that. Eagles haven't played well. I took them thinking, all right, they're going to turn it up a little bit. They have not played well for the last 5 or 6. Yeah, I've seen that. You got a few homies there. So we'll see how that. We'll keep you guys updated as we're live. If you guys are tuning into us, we appreciate you guys for watching us instead of NFL football.
Broward Vintage and 5900 at item 98. You wanna share screen? You wanna pop up?
Can you do that? Is that legal?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. We're done with the football talk, so we'll segue.
I'm over that shit. It's officially Heat season, baby. My Heat are playing against your Nets right now, so.
Yeah, I got that on one of the TVs, so I'm locked.
Let me unmute it.
2XL for $1. Uno peso metanol. 2XL.
$2XL.
Huge.
So pretty much what
y'all live on the podcast right now. What's going on? It's Sam from 5900, guys. Make sure you fucking swipe until your finger explodes. 2XL.
Podcast.
2XL. Thank you, Sky. Oh no, Sniper. 2XL, Big Pony.
See if there's any more polo stuff in that bag.
Yeah, it's pretty sick how I just see the flow. We're doing for Broward Vintage this week. We're doing a full inventory. We're taking things out of our weeding out what's not selling, what is, and seeing and reposting and whatnot. It's been a great opportunity for Broward Vintage to let go of some things. So definitely check it out when you guys got some time.
Yeah, pretty much they're just running through pieces. They start the auction at $1, and all you gotta do is just swipe that little yellow thing at the bottom to bid. And the way they have it set up is it's a few seconds, and once someone bids it goes back up to it adds a few seconds on the clock to the next thing. Sam's got a great background here with the fucking Hard Rock Hotel,
that's awesome.
Second
Look at some
last
more
piece,
pieces.
guys. Size
Second to
large
last piece.
polo.
They're doing 100 pieces.
Size large polo.
Vintage, size
Yeah, we'll continue to
large.
post when they go
Size
live,
large
so you guys
polo,
can
$1.
see what they got going on. Yeah, you lead. Now moving forward for it,
Yo,
you
the
could.
colors on this one are so sick.
Yeah, and the material is very much like a towel.
Yeah, it's not. It's like more of like a terry
Look, you
material.
can't go
It's not
wrong.
like your normal
$4
polo
for this polo
Very
right now.
comfortable.
Is the
Size
highest
large,
bid.
size large.
Shit. I'm rocking clothes every single week. I'm fresh every single week.
Right.
Thank you, Shonen Blooming.
Someone just won that polo
All right,
for
guys,
$4.
last
This
piece.
jacket's comfortable. Ooh, last piece. Yeah. So, Broward Vintage, obviously sponsor of the pod. Definitely go check them out. eBay link is always in bio, and we're halfway through. We're halfway through episode 108. Let's get into some either news stories or things that we didn't get to cover last week. If you have anything, video wise, let's get that up now. Try to be a visual podcast. I might fix myself another drink right now, so I'm gonna take a break. Do you think?
Do
Join
my
me.
thing.
BRB.
Man, Eagle's not looking too good. Let me go on this notes app and see what we got popping up. About to spitfire some stuff real quick. For y'all that didn't know, Mark Zuckerberg is building an underground bunker in Hawaii. We still haven't forgot about all the fires in Hawaii, all the missing children. Now all of a sudden Mark Zuckerberg's building an underground bunker there. All right. That's interesting. Apple has halted sales of the latest watches in the U.S. because they did steal some technology, and the company that they stole it from sued them, and now Apple had to stop selling those watches. I got a few more. I'm gonna wait till Ray gets back for these. This one we can kind of talk over. This is stuff that was trending over social media for a good amount of time. I'm sure everyone's heard about this. Bless me. I'm sure everyone's heard about the Stanley Cups, and no, not the hockey final trophy, but the cups, the Stanley Cups. They're actually not that bad. I don't have one personally, but I might be in the market for one. And I believe Target had a collab with Starbucks about them. And people were lining up outside the stores to get these cups. Let's see. I found some videos. Oh, yeah. I don't think it's ever that serious, especially for, anything retail wise to go this crazy over. Although in 2011, I did wait outside the Boca Raton Mall, Town Center Mall, for some Concord 11s when they were dropping. And then Boca PD took over that.
Brand new collaboration
this
has
is
the public
insane.
in shambles, quite literally causing mayhem all over the world.
Get him! Get him! Stop him! Stop him! Stop him!
Remember the Stanley Cup incident that happened in November of last year? A woman's Stanley Cup was the only item that survived when her car caught fire. And on top of that, the ice was still in the cup.
Still has ice in it.
Stanley and one
bought
of
her
the
a
biggest
cup.
corporations in the world, Starbucks, have now collaborated and made a special
Starbucks.
edition Starbucks Stanley Cup that's sold exclusively at Target. Starbucks recently reported that they lost around $11 billion, wiping out a little over 9% of its value. With this creative marketing collaboration, we're wondering what this will mean for both Stanley and Starbucks. Is this a bold and disruptive marketing? Brand new collaboration has the
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had a little spill and I made myself another beverage. Stanley Cups, the ultimate carrying cup trophy of all time. That is amazing. That not only, I seen that video that went viral about Stanley Cups. I believe the CEO or the owner of Stanley Cups bought that person a brand new car.
Yeah, they did buy them
after
a car.
it was cooked. So
Brand
shout out
new.
the owner, and they got See, there you go. Is a perfect opportunity for a company to earn the trust of their customers by just being nice, being a little bit, charitable in that, and just going above and beyond. And I watched that video go viral, and then the CEO came out saying that they'll buy her a new car. I literally forgot about it. Didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of months later, now I'm looking at like Stanley Cup going super viral, super like making all this money. And that's a reason. Those are the companies I root for. The ones that are taking the initiative of seeing an opportunity, doing the right thing. And there you go. You reap the benefits. So Stanley Cup, host your Stanley. I will not buy one just because of the president. It's set in America right now. I have a lot of Yetis. I don't need to add. I think we're a house of beverages of all sorts. I got Capri Suns in my refrigerator. I got Yetis that I could give out for free. That like Buc-ee's right here. I got so many. We will not be buying that many. We don't need to. We're not in the market for cups. Is what I'm saying. But shout out Stanley Cups.
They're not that bad. They're not that bad. There's one here in the house, and I was messing with it, and the way you can put your hand through the holder, that thing, you could that makes a pretty decent weapon, man.
They say you
can do some damage with that thing.
They say it's the best utility cup of all time currently, and we've said it with in the market. You don't have to be first. You just got to watch the market, see what they lack. Yeti's been big for years, and then there's been alternatives, and you find your niche and you find an opportunity. So shout out Stanley Cup. It's the Karen. They're on Twitter. They're saying it's the Karen Cup, but I support that company based on what they did, and they're doing it the right way. So shout out that. You have to understand what I just did just now. I just spilled a little bit of like
you hate
wine. Dude, I hate spilling. A pet peeve of mine. I had people over the other day. I said, you guys I'd rather somebody break something in my house than spill something. That's obviously depending on what it is. I tell people all the time, don't spill anything in my house because I'm not going to watch you clean it up. I have to stop what I'm doing and clean that up. So, because I can't watch somebody clean something up in my house. It's just not going to happen. So I'd rather you break something because breaking something means, all right, cool. We'll vacuum it. It's gone. It's useless. Maybe you buy me a new one. A spill, I got to spend at least 5-10 minutes on it, and I have to do it right. So I just spilled something. I did that. I listened to you the whole time. Thank you for carrying the episode because I just did a lot while I was away for like 3 minutes. Behind the scenes that you guys don't usually see. So just popped in others in. I now upgraded since to
that's peppermint.
Peppermint. I wanted to change it up. I went from a 3 milligram person, and I understand
those
what
open differently.
Those
open differently, right? The 6.
No, they don't. They
no,
open the
I
same.
thought. Oh.
Yeah, they open the same. So I was a 3 milligram for a while. That's what happens to addiction, or I only do it on the weekends or when I drink, and I usually only drink on the weekends anyway. So I'm not popping them at like on a Wednesday at 1 p.m. Which if you do that, that's perfectly fine. But non-paid sponsor of the pod.
Zinzo.
I was a 3 milligram for a while. I never smoked cigarettes. I won't smoke cigarettes. I'll hit one every once in a while I'm smoking, but recently, I'm like, oh, the 3s are good. They make me feel good. Gets the juices flowing. Today, I had to go buy some because I just ran out yesterday. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy the 6s. The 6s used to make me fucking vibe, but now I'm good.
The thing is,
that's the new move.
It's only nicotine, man. It doesn't have all the other chemicals and nasty stuff that.
And I'm only popping 2 or 3 when I'm drinking. I'm not doing like a half a case.
No, nicotine has been found to have some definitely some helpful what do they call it?
Yes, sir.
Some helpful side effects or whatnot.
Makes me feel good. I'm trying to do good. I'm trying to do things as long as I'm young. I'm trying to do as many things that make me feel good without doing too much harm to my body, which I do enough harm, but I'm also working out. I'm trying to be active. So balance, moderation, and evening it out. That's what I'm trying to be. What else we got? 50 minutes in.
So
I like this
something
podcast.
that
I like this episode.
Something that was all over social media right after we logged off last week was the NYPD finding out.
NYPD, LAPD.
Yeah. finding out that there's tunnels in New York City.
Great
connecting
video.
Some synagogues. I have one of the videos because there was a lot. I have one of the videos here pulled up, and I'm about to
I will
share.
say I was not surprised when I seen this video. I almost was surprised that it happened this long.
It took this long.
It's probably been going on for way longer. Don't put it too loud if you want to lower it. So it's a lot of commotion. If you want to lower it on your end a little bit. Yeah.
The cop buddy.
The Orthodox Jews just crawling out of headspaces. That's crazy. I seen a tweet that somebody was like a few months back. They were like, I'm hearing things going on below my building. And then they proved this was going on. I don't know enough evidence to talk about it. It could be. What it looks like is motherfuckers building underground. One of the tweets I seen was they built a underground situation during COVID because they weren't allowed to be in too many, have too many people congregated, and that happened during COVID, and then it's still long lived. Then it got shut down. I don't know any truth to that. I haven't heard anything or seen anything since, but hey, you got to figure it out. The Jewish community is going through a lot lately. We all be empathetic to that and sympathize with that, but they'll be fine, is what I'm saying. They'll be fine. They'll be all right. They'll beat the charges, is what I'm saying.
I think they'll be okay.
They'll be all right.
I just thought it was definitely funny to.
Yeah, it didn't look like anything illegally was going down other than code infractions. You know what I mean? Hey, we don't know. You're right. We don't know literally underground stuff going down. But hopefully nothing weirdo shit was happening. And if all they're in trouble for was maybe code infractions, building and structure, because that's dangerous. If they did that themselves, this is me being an adult nowadays. If they did something where they built their own tunnels and built their own structure and hundreds of people die, that's a tragedy. Especially if there's kids involved and, stuff like that, which I'm sure there are. You don't want people dying for no reason if a wall collapsed or a ceiling collapsed. So good for them. If that was all that was going on, with that they built a tunnel, they built an underground structure that was not coded and done right, it should be shut down. Let's be honest, because last thing you want to hear about is 200 Orthodox Jewish people die in Brooklyn because they built a tunnel. That would be a shame. That would suck.
Yeah, it was connecting two synagogues together or something with the underground. They were across from a children's museum. It's just a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
there was a lot of kids,
maybe some underhand deals. Maybe
strollers,
you gotta assume.
Child seats.
You gotta assume not all of it is kosher. If you know what I'm saying. There's probably a couple things going on. Like I said, I won't speak on the fact.
I just think the narrative would be a lot different if it was some Muslims building underground tunnels in New York.
Oh yeah, if it was another religion, we most definitely will look at that as, hey, let's get some high level feds involved. But we don't know. That stuff like that hits the news stream, it goes viral, and then we forget about it. But then the feds are still involved, and we forget about all these news stories are so big when it happens, and social media makes fun of so many things where it's almost diluted, and we become numb to all these things going on in the world that we just look past it and then we move on. And football's going on. So who cares, you know? But meanwhile, this is probably a big news story that like 5 years from now, we'll look back and be like, remember that thing that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, they were doing X, Y, and Z. Not saying they are. Don't want to say that. I'm just saying that's how the news works nowadays. You always hear a news story, and then 5 years later, you're like, oh, remember that thing that happened during X, Y, and Z? They were actually doing this. It's like, oh, shit. I thought that was just something funny, and that went viral. So you see it. Yeah, that was actually very interesting to see. That's all I got to say about that. Anything else? What else? I'm trying to look at some things that are going on because I'm trying to like now that we have new producers, now that we're trying to
we're gatekeeping our producer, dog.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see what's going viral right now on Twitter. We got the Emmys going on. We got football. We got WWE Raw. I'm going to Royal Rumble in 2 weeks. Yeah, why is it? No, it's politics.
Oh, because
I'm going to the Royal Rumble in 2 weeks. I'm very hype about that. Maybe I'll live stream. Maybe I'll have some fun with that.
You're going?
Yeah, me and Bree are going. I'm going to meet
Tampa,
Ashley
right?
Mann. Yeah, in Tampa. We're going up on Friday. The event takes place on Saturday, so we got an Airbnb. Oh, the Airbnb is so dope that we have. Actually would want to share this. Let's see if I can just pull up a picture of it. I wanted to do something different because when we travel, like you could get a hotel, but sometimes I do Airbnb just to give it a different vibe, especially if you're going for like 2 days. You want to like feel like you're living there almost, depending on where you are. And the place that I got is pretty fun. It's actually in I'm going to show it here. It's in Largo, which is northwest, more by like Clearwater, and it's an actual. Look at this, bro. Did I show you this yet? It's a backyard igloo. Look at that. That's where we're staying. It's like an igloo. And then I was curious. It's pretty dope. Sorry, I gotta get focus on this, whatever. I don't think I can. It's like a real igloo, and it's like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. And then I looked on the street where we're located. I'm pretty sure the owners have their own style of house as an igloo. So it's a giant igloo looking like it's pretty dope. It's called the Ice Dome in Largo. It's pretty cool. I'm very interested. I'll take pictures and share with you. And if it's pretty cool, I'll share with everybody else. But it's very interesting. It's in a backyard. Got great reviews. So I'm excited to go up to Tampa and hang out there for a couple days and go to Royal Rumble and have fun. Royal Rumble is like a vibe, bro. It's, when you go to a concert and when you go to a concert, sometimes it's filled with like people that want to be violent and too drunk. I've gone to several WWE events or wrestling events. Everybody's in a good mood. Everybody's hanging out. They're being themselves. It's like you got your nerds. You got me, who's like kind of like I would hope that I'm a little bit cool, but you get to be yourself and you get to nerd out a little bit. So it's gonna be a fun weekend. I'm very excited. Hopefully, I'll post some cool content when we're there. But we're staying in the igloo, which will be an experience. I'm excited.
All right, bro. Fucking Eskimo Elvis Escobar.
I like that. I like that. Sorry, I was sending a text to Vito. He was updating me on something. I'm also going to
jump off his balcony or not.
I'm going to the Panthers game on Wednesday.
Nice.
With a bunch of people. We're rolling like 1, 2, probably like 8 to 10 people deep. It's gonna be a fun vibe. It's bobblehead night, the third bobblehead. So I have
linking
one.
Up with Keem Centrics.
Well, I hit up Keem. He was supposed to come through on Saturday. He never did. He led me on. I gotta have a talk to him next time I see him.
You'll get used to that if you guys continue.
Those people. Like I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge them off this first invite because. People that link up, they usually tell you what you want to hear. Like, oh, all right, cool. I'm going to do this and I'll hit you up. Said he was going to come through. He never did. He wants us to talk more hockey and Panthers, but can't be letting me down like that. You know, I sent out the invite to come hang out, but I'm probably gonna see him on Wednesday. I'm probably I seen that. I'm probably gonna see him soon, so I'm gonna call him out on it and be like, hey, don't let that happen again, bro.
That's funny.
What else we got, Pop?
So since I've been doing a lot of driving lately, and this is kind of the last thing I want to talk about. You ever driving and you know how you're in the fast lane, in the lane all the way on the left, and eventually you get up to like a slow driver?
Yeah.
So either you can go around them, which that's not even what it's supposed to do. They're supposed to move out of the way for you. Or you can kind of just, if it's nighttime, you can blink your lights at them to be like, yo, move out of the way. And either they'll move out of the way or they'll speed up. And sometimes they don't do either. Sometimes they get pissed off and they brake check you, even though they're doing 65 in the fast lane. It's like, bro, come on. You got to pump those numbers up. Get me to at least 80. And then the most annoying thing is, too, when they switch lanes and then they go fast. They speed up after they switch lanes. It's like, bro, you couldn't have done that while you were already here? I don't understand. I really don't get it. Like, do people just not know how to drive? Do people want to be assholes? I feel like in Georgia, they move out of the way quicker than they do down in Florida. I don't know. It just pisses me off, man. And it's like, I know that they're changing some laws in Florida about that. You can't be going under a certain speed in that lane now. And you got to move over for every vehicle, not just emergency vehicles now. And then in other states, the left lane is a passing lane. Everyone's on the right lane. The left lane, you just move to the left lane and pass. I didn't know that until I was in Kentucky last year. But that's just
usually,
off, bro.
There's literally rules to the road, and then there's certain states and cities that just make up their own. Florida is one of those. I don't think Florida, like the city of South Florida, it's dog eat dog. Like
city of South Florida.
Seriously, it makes sense when you think, right? It doesn't make sense when people don't live here for me to say that, but now that you have your whole life, it makes sense. Because when I drive more up north and I'm going to do the drive up to Tampa, there's going to be rules, left lane, middle lane, right lane. Down here, it don't matter. There's people going 100 in the right lane. It don't matter. They're trying to beat, the exits and all that, people that are locals. Down here, thank God I've driven in New York City for 23 years, 24 years, or not 24 years, but when I got my license, so call it 10. I drove on the FDR, and anybody listening, if you've driven down the FDR at any time of the day, it's a roller coaster. You got 2 lanes, and you got blockades on the left and right of you. Not much wiggle room. Knock on wood, I probably won't have to drive on that again in my entire life, but never gotten on in an accident driving on the FDR in New York City. But man, that's there's times where, like, if you're in a racing video game and you want to go like high level, like hard or pause, or like experienced driver, you drive on the FDR. Like that's how you learn how to really drive, because you got to be alert. You can't be on your phone, can't be distracted. I'm telling you, bro, there's 2 lanes. You make a mistake, you're going into a barrier. So I'm glad I've learned to drive in New York City, because South Florida is a beast, and I could handle South Florida driving easily.
Yeah. When I was up in Philly, we were taking a lot of Ubers and Lyfts, and I said it on here after. When you're driving in the city, like, there's cars parked on both sides of you, and our Uber driver's just zooming through it, and it's like it's real narrow. And I'm kind of nervous sitting in the back. I'm like, yo, what if someone opens the door? What if someone walks out of nowhere? Like, this can't be that safe. You know, the streets were a lot more narrow up there than they are down in South Florida. It's just different setup and how the city is and what I'm used to normally. And I was just like, yo, this can be very bad. But thankfully, nothing happened and we were all good. But I don't know. I don't think I would like driving in those places up north and stuff.
Oh, it's
like
not
that.
fun. I'm not. You don't go
think I would
joyriding in those
enjoy it.
places. You're trying to get from A to B, but it's survival. You know, make sure you text your mom before and after. You know, you get there. But I used to do it every single day, almost 3 to 5 days a week, and yeah, it's challenging. As we record and we're wrapping up this episode, the Buccaneers are up right before the half, 13-3 on the Philly. It's going to be an interesting second half that I'll lock into after we're done recording. The Miami Heat are up 1 on the Nets. That's always a close. That's always a close matchup. Our teams are, for the last 5 years, we've been neck and neck. Right? You know, yeah, it's in Brooklyn, which for us, we've been playing so bad lately. It doesn't. We just played in fucking Paris and lost, so it doesn't really matter where the game is. Every game's a battle. What else we got? Things wrapping up. Let me rapid fire some things that I seen. Tiger Woods and Nike split after 25 years of being in business. That was interesting. I'm interested to see where that brand takes off. If Tiger starts his own brand, where he goes.
He might as well at this point. I know he's got his son coming up, so
yeah, obviously he's thinking legacy, and I never thought they would split, just like a LeBron has a lifetime deal and stuff like that. So interested to see if he goes with another company or he tries to be a full entrepreneur and opens up his own. Obviously, he has the money to do his own thing. That was out of nowhere. The NBA is doing a new Netflix series, like the quarterback like they did on Netflix with the NFL. It's going to be LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, and Sabonis as the 1, 2, 3, 5 people that are going to lead that. That's going to be very interesting because NBA players are probably the most personality and best marketing people. You know, Anthony Edwards is electric every time he's on a microphone or on video, whether he's on the court or off the court. A solid top 5 starting that series off. And obviously quarterbacks, I don't think they got anybody to do season 2 because quarterback's a little weird where, you know, they want to focus. They have so much pressure, but NBA players love to market themselves. That's why the NBA long-term will always be better than, I think, the other leagues. Yes, NFL will generate a lot of money as a league, but the NBA individually will always generate more marketable. You got sneakers, you got personalities, you could see the player's face, a lot of things that goes into the NBA and basketball that you could sell. So that'll be interesting to watch on Netflix as it comes out in the off season. Hopefully they're doing it obviously live now. What else I got here? For you, Eric Spoelstra, extension, 8 years, 120 mil.
Well deserved.
Rightfully so. Started off from the bottom. You want to talk about started from the
right
bottom.
after his divorce finalized.
Yeah, heard about that recently. We never mentioned that, but good for him. He's gonna have to, hopefully he has his finances in order that he doesn't have to give up too much. Always on the side of the man when it comes to that.
Well, he's Filipino, so I'm sure he's good with that.
Yeah, so he'll have enough money, so he's not struggling. But outside of that, professionally, he deserves that because he's done nothing but win. He's done nothing but he's been the backbone of that franchise. Other than Pat Riley, obviously it starts with Pat, then it goes to Eric, and they've had superstars there, and then they've had G League players make it to the finals. Obviously, not saying Jimmy Butler, but just saying, like, with the compliments they've had, they've been developing players, and that's awesome. So when I say that, I don't mean that disrespectfully at all.
Yeah,
I wish my franchise was like them for the last 10.
They're even saying now that teams should be careful of signing those up-and-coming players that Miami has to their team for big contracts because it's a Heat culture. It's a Heat system. It's Eric Spoelstra. It's how he's gonna motivate them and how they're going to develop their players. And yeah, some may go on and do well, but most don't. I mean, Max Strus is doing his thing in Cleveland, but you look at Josh Richardson after he left, he wasn't talked about as much. You look at Tyler Johnson when he left, he wasn't the same player. Now you have Gabe Vincent, who was our starting point guard in the finals, who was doing a lot of good things for us in the playoffs, and now he's not even getting any playing time on the Lakers. And the Lakers are, last time I checked, they were a sub 500 team. They might be at 500 now or game over, but
the
Gabe
two
Vincent's not that
franchises
same dude.
the two franchises I look at in different sports that I can relate to what we just talked about is the Tampa Bay Rays in baseball, where they develop so well. They get guys to overachieve and then they don't re-sign them. They go somewhere else. Not saying they suck after, but I'm just saying like they maximize in the rules of their contract and take advantage of when they're in their 20s. They sign them when they're young and then they don't re-sign them when they're in their 30s. Brilliant. And then also New England Patriots. They get guys in the late stages of the draft. Bill Belichick, obviously. Another thing that we, news this week, Bill Belichick not coming back to the Patriots. And he's not going to sit on his couch for the next year. He's going to go to another team, whether he goes as a GM or a defensive coordinator or head coach, whatever he does. Those are like relatable franchises that I see that, like the Miami Heat, that are able to develop players, have a culture. I know that word is very used a lot with Miami, and able to develop. And the news came out like, hey, if Miami Heat lets go of a player, it's because, they probably maximize them. And so far, over the last 5 years, it tends to be true. Nobody has left the Miami Heat over the last 5 to 8 years and become a all-star or has maintained that all-star-like or overachieving status. So very good point. Very good scouting report on that. And where if Miami Heat let go of a player, you might have to look into that a little bit. There's a reason why they're letting go of him. But what else we got, Bob? Thank you for everybody tuning in. Comments. I love we got a lot of comments in here. I wasn't paying attention too much. Shout out Evan, Danny, not Danny. Evan, Leo, Bree, Alvin, all those people commenting in the live chat. We want to keep it going. So if you guys aren't subscribed to us, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on our episode. We're going to put out a lot of content this week and moving forward. Next week, let's lock down. Let's make put it out there that we will have a guest, whether it's one or two. My mom's actually visiting next week, but we're still going to roll an episode out. So let's get a guest on that we have on. And
Fallon for joining our live on Saturday. We had a live for the NFL Wildcard games, and she hopped on. A lot of good stuff on there. So I appreciate her. Thank you.
Yes. So, I was texting and figuring out a lot going on. All right. Well, episode 108. Good episode. Appreciate everybody for vibing with us as usual. Definitely, share as we put out the content, share our content, with people that, on your stories, we'll repost you guys and everything we put out. We appreciate the love, and we will try every single week to get better and have more guests on and definitely have things flowing in motion. Anything on your end? Any shout outs? Last things on your end?
Nope. Shout out Broward Vintage. Go like, comment, subscribe, follow. That's our sponsor. So we got a lot of future stuff coming up with that, and we're just going to keep pumping out content and trying to see what comes up with this in the next few hundred episodes.
All right, cool. Episode 108, Elvis Escobar, Fort Sama.
Heat.
Now it's turning that chapter for
it's
Let's
heat
Go
season,
Heat, right?
baby. It's
Easily.
heat season. Officially heat season.
This episode will be I'll put up the timestamps and everything so you guys can stay locked with throughout the episode. Episode 108, enter the lab, exit the lab. Peace. Appreciate y'all.
Peace. Good night, Z.